Sorcerers! Josh here. What is hopefully my last video before I head off to Sorcery Con. And hopefully get to meet a whole bunch of you. Now, unfortunately, this video isn't the type of video I wanted to kind of end on, but it is what it is. I took a good hard look at the availability of beta booster boxes on TCG Player, and it's not pretty. Right now, we've got about 97 boxes available. And of those, 37 boxes are at a price of between $210 to $220 shipped. And that doesn't even include sales tax. So that's a pretty high price for a box of beta. I'm hoping that some of that is because we've had some new players and they were able to pick up some of those boxes for 180 or 170 or something like that. But as I've been involved more and more in Sorcery, I feel like TCG Player is not a very good measure of the market. It does provide some good data, but there are some things, especially with Arthurian Legends right now, you can go other places and you can get the cards and the product for prices that are typically lower than TCG Player. I know that that's kind of where everyone tries to measure everything, but if you go on the Discord marketplace or the Facebook marketplace associated with Sorcery, you can get a lot of these things for anywhere from 20 to, even 25% cheaper than what you're seeing. Now, in some cases, it's a little bit tighter. It's only 10%, but still, 10% is 10%, especially when you're talking about very large purchases. So you have that option. So I do definitely think that beta booster box supply has tightened quite a bit. And that's a bit alarming for me because I really wanted there to be more product available for the first couple of months that we had Arthurian Legends so that all these new players could also get some beta booster boxes and experience that. Now, the good news for those folks like myself who are here in the US, Team Covenant still has boxes for $149. So if you are a new person getting in to Sorcery, I know you see this new, cool, shiny Arthurian Legends box right up here, and you're like, that's so cool. I want those. We're going to get waves of those. That set is supposed to last us for a year. So, my recommendation right now, if you're getting in and you've got enough money to buy a beta booster box, and you're not just going to go the full-blown singles route, go buy a beta booster box from Team Covenant for $149 and get it while you can. Now, I have talked about Team Covenant quite a bit on several of my videos. No, they don't sponsor me. They don't pay me. I don't get anything from them, just so you all know. But they have the best price. $149 shipped to your door, beta booster box. That is the best price right now that I can find here in the US. Maybe someone has some magical fairy place where you can go and it's $135 or something, but I have not seen that. So if you're a new player, my recommendation, because you do want to have the beta experience. I don't want folks to be like, oh, I never got that opportunity because boxes were $250. You can still get them from Team Covenant here in the US for $149. That might not be shipped. They might charge a shipping fee. I may be wrong about that. I can't quite remember. But still, best price, still, they are the ones that have it. So I would recommend if you're just getting into the game, hold off on Arthurian Legends. If you've already bought a box, fine. But whatever funds you have left, try to go buy a box of beta or two, just so you have the experience. If you're fortunate enough to have even more funds available to you for whatever reason, you can buy a max of 6, which is a case. Buy a case, and then you can use it over the course of the next year. You could bust it all and have a nice, huge collection if you wanted to. Trade for the stuff you need out of Arthurian Legends, whatever that is. Maybe you like to, collect high-end foils. 6 boxes worth of beta is probably going to get you something pretty decent. It may not. There's some serious variance issues in all of the Sorcery products that we've seen. But my experience with the beta products overall has been better than with Arthurian Legends, and just in terms of the variability. Although I have heard of complete dud cases, although I feel like it was far less than what I've heard with Arthurian Legends. So, if you're able to go out and get those 6 boxes, fantastic. Maybe hold 1 or 2 back for a draft, for a sealed event, something like that. Maybe save it. I will admit, I went out, I bought a case. I just went to Team Covenant, I bought a case. I'm going to put it on my shelf, and then I'm going to use it for something in the future. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's going to be, I'll run some big event if I can get enough players, and I'll make the prize a whole beta box 2 years from now or something. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking about. But I do want everyone that's new, everyone that has come in, if you are in the U.S., go and buy a beta booster box from Team Covenant. Take the opportunity to have that opening experience, because it is wonderful. And I do think that if you don't do it, you will feel like you've missed out. Now, leading into that, some people are like, but they could reprint it. They could reprint beta again, and then the boxes are going to be worthless. They could. That's a possibility. We don't know what Eric's Curiosa is thinking. Maybe they think that the player influx from the new set is big enough that they're like, well, we're going to have to reprint beta again. But they may not be thinking that. They could be like, no, we printed it enough. We're gonna cut it off. We're going to let it run. I'm not going to debate the merits of one way or the other, value, that type of thing. But in my opinion, if they did do another run of beta, and you bought a box from Team Covenant for $149, I don't think you'll feel bad. On the other hand, if you paid $250 for a box of beta, and then they do another reprint, you might feel bad. So, in terms of the whole, if you're debating it because, there might be a reprint and the boxes will be $120, that could happen. I don't know that I would roll those dice. For, let's say, $30, 100, let's say they drop to 120. Heck, 110. You're talking $20, $30. I just don't think it's worth that risk. That amount of money for the risk of never being able to open beta unless you pay $250. I don't think it's there. So I recommend anyone that's a new player, because we don't have beta pre-cons right now. If you have someone who's coming into play and they're not just a big singles person or something like that, a lot of folks have donated a lot of their bulk to help people get started. So booster box may not be the way to go. Although I do think the opening experience is worth the price for beta. I still think the best thing for a new player to do right now, because we don't have beta pre-cons, if they have the money to buy a beta booster box, that's where I'm telling them to go. Go to Team Covenant, buy a beta booster box. Now, for you folks over in Europe, Australia, everywhere else, I know. I wish I could help you. If there was anything I could do, if there was anything I could say, I wish I could. I want to fix it. I know Eric's Curiosa has mentioned that they are trying to get something going in Europe, trying to get a better singles market and all those things. I hope they do. I really want people in Europe playing Sorcery. It feels like a game that Europeans should be playing. Not that anyone else shouldn't, but I don't know. Just the tone, the setting. When I think of fantasy, I tend to think of Europe. That's just me. I don't know why. Castles, all that stuff. I'm a bit of a Europhile, so that's probably it. That's just me. I think Europeans should be playing Sorcery. It just feels right to me. But other than that, that's what I wanted to talk to everyone about today. The reprint may happen. We don't know. It is what it is. It's going to happen one way or the other. But if you're new to the game, go get a box from Team Covenant if you're here in the U.S. for $149. Get it before they sell out. Because once they sell out, what happened last time, I am dead certain is going to happen again. And those boxes are going to be $300 or something crazy like that. Especially if Eric's Curiosa comes out and says, now we're done with beta. There isn't going to be any more. And who knows what'll happen if they say that. So that's what I wanted to let all you know. Oh, one final thing. I should have started this at the beginning of the video, but we're at the end, so it's going to be at the end. On, I believe it was Reddit, someone posted what appears to be a witch sketch curio. Now, some folks were like, that's an AP, but it didn't have the square corners of the APs we've seen. So I don't think it was an artist proof. I think, you know, it looked like it was a card. It looks like it was made to look like a curio of some kind. Eric's Curiosa has confirmed that is not a curio. It is not a card they made. So if you see the sketch witch on a card, that's something that some fan made. I didn't go look at the post. I didn't check it out. I just heard that somebody was offering money to buy it. That's when Eric's Curiosa stepped in. Good job. Thank you for stepping in. That's fantastic. So if you see that out, you know, I don't know if it was nefarious. Someone was going to try to sell it for thousands of dollars, or if they're like, I just made this cool thing. Isn't this awesome? And somebody else got a hold of it and threw it into the Discords or whatever. That is not a real thing. So, little warning there at the end. If you see the sketch witch, yeah, it looks cool. Not a real Eric's Curiosa card. Don't spend $1,000 on it. It's not real. Don't do that. And other than that, I'll see you all at Sorcery Con, and we will contest the realm.